In our neighborhood, just a block over, our neighbors have raised a 2-story Santa Claus on the roof of their house, and it makes their 1-story inflatable dogs look like miniature dachshunds. And right next door to us, there is a light display to beat the band. All around us, everyone is festive and lit. And why not? It's the 15th of December. Us in the Herring household, we have an Advent wreath. We have 4 candles and a pewter ring. It's not out of some piety like no other. It's really because we haven't taken the time or made the time or had the time in some circumstances to decorate. Last night, Darren and I had an honest conversation about what must happen in our household for us to feel like we're honoring the holiday, we're honoring our home, we're decorating in a way that speaks to our joy of the season and not our envy of others. Turns out it's going to be a simple tree, some outdoor lights that don't need a ladder, and some of our holiday knickknacks and decorations that we put up each year. And that's good, and it's going to be good. Scott Stoner's reflection today, he quotes Teddy Roosevelt when he says, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And he names that comparison and says that it makes us feel inadequate. It leads us to do things and say things which might make us feel more equal to others and hopefully better than others. Author Rebecca Weber refers to this as the comparison trap. She writes that this spike of envy that comparison triggers is natural, and also notes that social media is primed to amp these feelings right up. I find when I am mindlessly scrolling up and down in any social networking platform, it's almost inevitable that I'm going to relate what I'm seeing to myself. And I think comparison at its foundation is actually one of the ways that we develop an understanding of who we are. And there's a level at which it can be a good thing. Comparison has helped people to live and thrive throughout history, helping us to understand who we are, who we're not, what we like, what we don't like, how we will or won't spend our time and our energy and our money. But for those for whom social comparison is negative, and those whose needs lead them to be reliant upon the feedback of others to help them to name external markers of value and status, and that's all of us at some times, well, this can seriously compromise mental health and create significant risks of depression. The number of people, celebrities, who seem to have it all, who've died in the past 3 years from suicide, is absolutely staggering to me. And when you compare the number of these people next to the numbers of others in the United States who've taken their own lives, it really is paltry. But I've used it, comparing the two, comparing the numbers. Comparison is hard to avoid. Still, there's good news. There's good news that studies suggest that as we get older, we're less likely to compare ourselves to others. We're more likely to compare ourselves to ourselves at a younger time, ourselves in different situations, and less likely to measure ourselves against the world around us. I'm a list maker. I make lists of things I should be doing, things I want to be doing, things I could be doing, things I want to be when I grow up. And that list is often started with conversations with family and friends and peers and colleagues, though I try not to value myself based on what I do or do not accomplish from my list. It's just not a place that I find myself to be joy-filled and happy and vibrant. I've referenced before a YouTube video that accompanies Dan and Parry's The Parable of the Trapeze. It's something that I find myself watching 3, 4, 10 times a year, and I'll post it today. It helps me to be empowered to know that I'm the one making my own decisions about who I think I am and how I value myself. Have a wonderful day, and remember that you and I are valued supremely just as we are.
路上，